Hello and welcome. This is going to be your new moon reading. If you're new to my channel, I like to do tarot readings based on the new moon energy and the full moon. I'm a Cancer sun and I'm really drawn to the moon, so that's how I do it. My name is Melissa, and so we're looking at new moon energies. I'm going to do pick a card, which you probably gathered from the title. The new moon is about setting intentions. It's the beginning of the cycle, but also marks the end of the previous cycle. So we're going to be looking at intentions that could be something that you're looking at or something that you may have not thought of that you might have wanted to kind of start for the cycle. We're not just looking at the day of the new moon. The new moon energy begins right at the couple days before the new moon, and then it also goes through for a couple days after. So what we're looking at here is the first couple weeks of the cycle, which will be the new moon leading up to the full moon. So we got a couple weeks worth of information here. I'm shuffling my cards for you guys. The first deck that I shuffled was the Tarot of the Old Path, which I'm not sure is even in print anymore. This is my oldest deck. I've had it for 20 years. This is one of my newest decks. It's an Oracle deck called the Quantum Oracle, sorry. And then this is my trusty cheapy deck that I'm very, very connected to, the Vivid Journey. So I went ahead and shuffled. I'm going to do 4 piles or stacks and let you pause and choose. Okay, so stack number 1, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, stack number 2. Okay, stack number 3. Oh, that one for sure. This one and the top one. All right, and let's get stack number 4. Like I said, I will, or maybe I didn't say, I will have the timestamps in the first comment. Okay, there we go. No rhyme or reason, not picking a set number, just whatever feels like it's supposed to come out, okay? I'm going to put the Oracle card above the deck and we'll go over that one last. Stack number 1, please. Stack number 2. Stack number 3. Stack number 4. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. All right. And then the last deck, stack number 1, please. Messages for those who choose stack number 1. Stack number 2, please. Okay, that's it. Stack number 3. And stack number 4. Alrighty. Now, let me place these together so you can pause once I get these stacked up and you can choose your stack. I'm going to place a crystal on each stack. Alright. Let's scoot these over. Alright, stack number 1 has Carnelian, stack number 2 has Sunstone, stack number 3 has Sodalite, and stack number 4 has Pyrite. Go ahead and pause and see which one you feel drawn to. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and play the video. Okay, now that we have our piles chosen, I'm going to start with stack number 1. I'll move these out of the way. Okay, if you chose stack number 1 with the carnelian, this is your message. Okay, we have the Justice card, the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Cauldrons in reverse, the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, Death, and the Ace of Wands. I'm going to scoot those just a little bit so you can see them all. Okay, so as for intentions and the beginning of a cycle, we do have 3 major arcana cards here, which would indicate that there is something fairly significant going on for you in this cycle. Going in order, I would say that there's something I feel like you may be looking to you're looking to balance, you're looking toward some fairness in your life. And we have this Ten of Cauldrons reversed, which would tell me as a reader that there is something that is making you unhappy. And I feel like with these 3 cards from that deck, it's kind of showing that there may be something that you feel is unfair, unbalanced, and that is making you unhappy. So I feel like possibly some intention setting that may be going on here, or something that is new coming up for you in this cycle, would be turning something into something a little bit more fair and balanced, okay? We have the Magician here, which is all about gathering your resources. And with this large circle, it indicates a cycle, but it's you have the power to change the direction of where things are going. And if you are completing a cycle, like I said, with the new moon energy being the end of the previous cycle and the beginning of this cycle, it is definitely within your power to create a new cycle, to break the cycle and start something new. Okay, the Three of Pentacles, this may involve in adding somebody else to help. There could be a helper that you may need to look toward. There also is an indication of a plan here. They have blueprints out, and there's definitely the possibility of another person or another energy that you can include in your life to help you manifest this change that you're looking for. And again, I say change because of the Death card. The new moon, very, very specifically to me, is always reminding me of this Death card, okay? The Death is more about rebirth. The Death card is more about ending a cycle, like I said here, ending a cycle and starting a new one. There is this gorgeous sunrise. I see it as a sunrise. We also have this flower blooming here, so it's time to bloom something new. And I feel like there may be a message from Spirit coming in for you. There is the beginning of something here. So I really feel like the intention for this new moon to kind of help bring things together and help you manifest that is for your intention to be more in the idea or area of change. And that's completely up to you. If you are all still watching this and still understanding, and if this is resonating for you, you already know what that change is that you'd like to make. So, and going about how to get to that change, I feel like involves some planning. All right, now let's get to this Oracle card here. All right, so we're in the area of energy, and I did mention, I think in the beginning of the video, unless you fast forwarded, that this deck has suits similar to the tarot, where we have the pentacles and we have the cups and we have the wands and that sort of thing. It has suits. So this is going to be in your energy field, and this stuck energy, he's in a ditch, but look, he doesn't seem to be bothered. He's taking advantage of this pause, okay, of this kind of feeling stuck. But stuck doesn't always necessarily mean stuck. Do you see this rainbow? Okay, there is definitely a light at the end of the tunnel. So taking this stuck energy and transforming it into the rainbow, using your internal power, using your personal magic to manifest this change here, where things will start to feel a little bit more on that rainbowy side. But I definitely feel like there is a stuck energy that you are due to unlock. This also would indicate that unlocking. This also kind of, they go together in that way where you're unlocking so that something new can come in here. Okay. It's okay to sit with it, but the longer you sit in the stuck energy, the harder it's going to be. This mud, let's see, I'll lift it up here. This mud, it's heavy. This truck and this guy, they're heavy. And the longer it sits in the stuck energy, the deeper it can become. So the key here would be to start looking for that rainbow. There is something that you can unlock here. There is something new coming in, but you have to leave this stuck energy that's right here. It's time for a change, okay? So, I would start planning how to get unstuck out of this stuck energy. All right. And yeah, if you need to get somebody to help with that planning, it's definitely within your power to do so. But I do feel like with that intention, the intention to become unstuck, the intention to find that rainbow and make the change and be a more fair and balanced person and in your given situation, you have that power, and you may need to implement something new to get that unstuck. Definitely don't sit there too long. It's important to recognize a feeling of being stuck in order to move past it. So start looking for ways to implement a plan. Start putting together. Planning is kind of an action. So, get to that point where you can sit down and plan it all out. This is what I want from this situation. I want fair and balanced. I can be fair and balanced. How can you do that? Start writing it all down, okay? Let's go ahead and move on to stack number 2. Stack number 2 was the Sunstone. All right. Stack number 2 didn't have a whole lot of cards. All right. The Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Okay. So I feel like there may be something there's something new that you're gonna have to break free in order to get something new going here. This is about watching your step and leaving this kind of unstable feeling energy, this confusion. This is definitely about confusion. So something new is taking you away from that. Now, in more traditional decks, the Six of Swords is represented by a person getting into a boat and kind of seeking refuge. Okay, in this instance, I feel it's more like you're having to traverse that. You're not just gonna skip out on it. You're gonna have to be careful and watch your path. You don't know if these rocks down here are going to be steady, and you're having to also balance a little bit, balancing your energy, balancing your thoughts. Okay, but I definitely feel like it's based off of something new that is coming in for you. The Ace is the beginning. The Pentacles having to do with earth energy, money, belongings, that sort of thing. Possibly a move to a new house here. Possibly a shift from one place to another. But definitely some movement here. Moving out of one thing and into something new. So this could be a house for you. Don't feel like it's a relationship. I do feel like this is more changing jobs or changing where you live. Okay, maybe even getting a new car. It's about your belongings and the things that you possess being new here. So, and then this is definitely a clarifying action here. And we also have the Eight of Wands, which to me is all about manifestation, but not just manifesting as if making a wish and it coming true. This is more about putting in energy. This is about putting out and receiving what you've put out. So whatever work you put into this situation and making this change or this move, I feel move is a very strong word for this. Whatever energy you put into it is what you're going to get out. So if you're going to be lazy or you're not going to, take it one step at a time, if you're not going to seek clarification, then you're not going to get it. So whatever energy you put into making this move, the more effort and more energy you put into it, the better the results are going to be. So let's take a look at your oracle card. The oracle card is in the consciousness suit, I guess, if you want to call it that, and the consciousness of victim mentality. Okay, so I feel like this is the energy where you're at, and like I said, with this moving to something new, pay attention to how you're thinking and what your awareness is. Are you being too aware of the things that are happening to you? Okay, do you see this waterfall as flooding you? Do you see that you are tied to something? I feel like trying to bring to your awareness that you are not a victim. If you are a victim of anything, it is of your own thoughts, okay? It is of your own doing, and not to be very harsh about it, but for even personally, a lot of what you do, what you feel is against you, is really just your perception of it. So I feel like this is really trying to tell you that you aren't a victim, that's what that's what is in your conscious awareness, because that's what you're bringing to your awareness. So if you can shift that and change that into, I am not a victim, okay? Change the mentality. And I'm really hearing a message of change the words that you use, okay? You are not a victim unless you allow yourself to be a victim, okay? It's time to move on here. Move out of this victim mentality. Move out of that and into a state of manifestation where everything that you put out comes back to you. And ultimately, I feel like that's a great intention to have. However, unless you're ready to move forward and actually make some significant changes in your conscious awareness, you're going to keep bringing things that you are feeling unsteady about. So be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of whether or not they're clear thoughts or whether they're being muddied by your own mentality and your own victimhood type mentality. Bring that to your awareness, and that may be where you find that steady clarity, okay, that helps bring about this shift. Now, that being said, if you are ready, now is a great time to start a new cycle for yourself and, start putting in the energy of what you want to receive. There's a great quote, and I don't know who it's by, but it is, I feel it's very fitting for your reading, and I don't know the word for word, but it's to the effect of, give that which you are lacking in order to receive it. It kind of goes with I believe it's a Gandhi quote, be the change that you want to see. So, it's about being who you really are, even if it doesn't kind of feel like you are yet, because that's how you become that person. So if you feel like you're lacking, let's say this does physically represent your home, okay? If you feel like your home is lacking, then be more generous and more conscious of your home. Like clean your space, find a spot that's cluttered and clear it. That way you get this clarity, that kind of thing. You know, if there's something that you feel like you're lacking, then give it to someone else. If you're lacking finances, this does also have to do with money. If you're lacking in finances, find some way to give financially. Even if it's just a very small amount, that will come back to you. That will go out into that energy field and attract it to you. So if you're feeling unclear about a situation, maybe help somebody else who is unclear, but you can see something that they cannot. And then you're giving them clarity, and then boom, here comes your clarity. Okay. So, you know, if you have any other suggestions, go ahead and pop them in the comments. But that's the message that I'm seeing for this stack. I'm going to go ahead and move on to stack number 3. Stack number 3 had the Sodalite. All right. Let's do these first. Temptation, which would be the Devil card. 6 of Rods. The Knight of Pentacles. I don't read this deck reversed. This deck I read reversed, this one I don't. It's just something I did with that deck. So I'll go ahead and scoot these so that you can see them all. Okay, so Temptation is the Devil card. This is about an unhealthy or toxic habit or attachment to something. It can be a situation, it can be a person. It's about, you know, being tempted and being kind of feeling maybe trapped in a situation that looked good from the outside but turned out not to be, but you don't know how to get out. But we have the 6 of Rods, which is victory. This is you coming out of a temptation. So perhaps the intention for this cycle is for you to leave a toxic situation. Could be a job, could be a person. The Knight of Pentacles here would be a person that, you know, is maybe trying to help you move forward in a, you know, but not in a fast-paced kind of way. This is a little bit slower movement, okay? I'm also seeing really drawn to the daffodils here, which would say springtime. So perhaps, you know, whatever intention you put out here as far as moving on from a situation, or maybe even overtaking the situation and taking it into your control, could be, you know, in the springtime. You know, it may take a while. It may take a while because here we are in summer, kind of almost in the fall season. So, you know, spring's going to be a little while, but I feel like whatever it is that you take, that you're trying to get away from here and win the situation, it may come, you know, may take a while. The Knight of Pentacles is movement, but slow movement. And with these daffodils, I'm really feeling springtime. So whatever the situation is, it may take a while, but I feel like you do overcome it. Now would be a good time because it's going to take a while to start putting those intentions out. We also have the Ace of Cups, which is new love. This is the 8 of Cups here, which is kind of you've invested, and I feel like it's attached to this situation over here. This is investing in something and walking away because it just didn't work out. And like I said earlier, this could be a situation that seemed really good but turned out not to be, and this would be you walking away from it. Now, it's going to take some time, but I do feel like there is a new loving emotion coming in for you, and I feel like it has to do with you more loving yourself here with the Hermit card. This is about reaching into yourself and finding yourself. So I feel like it's kind of a time for you to start on a self-love journey, okay? You're journeying toward the self-love. These two are feeling very, very connected here as far as walking away. The Hermit takes a journey to a mountaintop and you know, stays there until he finds what he's looking for. But when he set out on the journey, he didn't know what he was looking for. So you don't have to know where you want to go in order to start the journey. So let's get to your Oracle card. people. Okay, so this is definitely going to revolve around people in your life. So I do feel like this may be very relationship oriented. Maybe you got into a relationship that seemed to be good, turned out not to be as good. Okay, and maybe there is somebody here that is, maybe they're trying to leave the situation, which kind of leaves you in a victory position. Or, you know, it could just be that they're leaving and it's going to be a while before they're gone, and maybe you didn't want them to go because you were toxically attached to them, and maybe that's why maybe why it feels kind of like leaving something that you wanted behind. But again, this was, I feel like, a kindred partnership. That's why it feels so hard to move forward. Okay, and that's probably why it will take some time. It will take a while for you to reach this point of being okay on your own journey here, because maybe this partnership, you're feeling very tied and attached to them because there was a lesson that you needed to learn there. I'm really being pulled to this lighthouse. So, I am being kind of drawing these two together. The lighthouse kind of being a similar energy as the lantern that the hermit is carrying. So I feel like there's definitely something better on the horizon. A beacon. I heard the word beacon. So there's a beacon of hope. Okay, a beacon of hope out there for you. It may not feel so great, but look at all of the other positive aspects that could be here. So I feel like there's a learning situation from something that you're trying to get out of, or maybe if it's the other way around, they're trying to get out of it. Gonna take a while, and but I feel like it's for the better. Okay, this was a partnership that you were to learn from, and perhaps the learning was in walking away, finding yourself, and kind of embracing your own inner beauty and being there for yourself could have been the lesson here. So an intention for this new moon would be to be okay with walking away from something, to be okay and understand that there is a victory on the horizon. All right, to just be, an intention to just be and allow things to unfold in the way that they are intended to, and to just kind of go with the flow here. All right, that's what I have. If you chose this stack, I'm going to move on to stack number 4. Stack number 4 had the pyrite crystal. Let's set that aside and flip them over. 7 of Pentacles, the guide in reverse, Wheel of Fortune, the 2 of Rods, the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. Very interesting here. So we have 2 major arcana cards here. I just knocked my mic over. I hope you can still hear me. Okay, we're going to leave it. Sorry if that banged in your eardrums. We have these 2 major arcana cards here, so I feel like this is something big for you. Major, more impactful in the long run, not kind of like day-to-day BS kind of stuff. This may be something a little bit bigger for you. Second thing I'm drawn to here is these 2 5s. The 5s are about change. The 5s are about inner conflict, not being satisfied here. But for me, 5s only and always come up when there is a change either taking place or that needs to take place. So I feel like here you're feeling overworked, overwhelmed. You're at a place where you don't think you can push forward here. So we have also the guide in the reverse. The guide in the traditional tarot, I believe, is the Judgment card. This is about cycles. And so is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is a 10, which is the completion of a cycle. But we have this reversed here. So I really feel like you're not seeing what you're being called to. you're kind of being not blindsided, but distracted, and you're overwhelmed, and you're feeling overworked, and wanting to step back is kind of blocking you from seeing the bigger picture here. Okay, I feel like there's a blockage with you're being called to something better, but you're not seeing it. All right, but we have, with the Wheel of Fortune is about the completion of a cycle, and I feel like there's a blockage between your hard work and the cycle being complete. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune also can be about actual fortune and bringing something new into your life. Like, I feel like there's just something in the way here. This is something about you not seeing what you're being called to, or being unsure of your purpose. Okay, and again, when we get to this Seven of Pentacles stage in a project or in a career, it's about stopping what you're doing because you don't think it's going to go as planned. And I feel like that could be what's blocking here. Okay, we also have the Two of Rods, which is about the twos are partnerships and balance. He's on stilts in this card. So it's kind of, I feel like, trying to indicate that you feel like maybe you're walking on eggshells. Maybe you feel unsteady in your passion or in your motivation. So again, about being unsure of your purpose here, I'm also getting that from these as well. Is, that you have your hands on it, but it's still taking a lot of work when it really shouldn't be. And I honestly, I feel like it's just time to make a change with these fives. Okay, you're not feeling, these are not good feeling cards. This is conflict. This is, you fighting with yourself. For me as a reader in this deck, I see this as an internal conflict. So I feel like it's just something that you have to work out in your own mind and in your own time. It's something that you have to figure out for yourself, unfortunately. As a reader, that all I can tell you is that it's in you to make the change, okay? It's in you to turn the wheel. You can see this for the better if you can get yourself unstuck, okay? And feeling a little bit more balanced and knowing your purpose will kind of help resolve this conflict. All right, let's get to the Oracle card. Maybe our answer is there. Okay, we're in the energy field here for planning and action. Okay, like I said, this is, you're stepping back here. You don't see the end in sight. You're feeling very conflicted, and it would be a good time to start planning. Okay, planning to take action. I would even elaborate with this card. Planning to take action. What did I say about time? Things will unfold in their own timing, but it doesn't hurt, and it will help the timing figure itself out if you start to make a plan and start to take small actions. All right. I feel like taking action, maybe a different action, taking a different approach to whatever it is that you're feeling like isn't worth it. Okay. Like, is it worth it? Is my effort and time worth it? And maybe it's time to just take a step back, change the way you do it, change the way you feel about it, and then start making a plan. At the new moon is a great time to start a new plan. It's the best time to put an intention for making change and really looking at what you want that change to be. Being specific. Don't be very general and vague as far as, what is, I just want to change. I need a change. You need to be specific in what you want that change to look like. I recognize that I'm feeling overworked. I don't know if my efforts are worth it. And I recognize that it's blocking me from my true potential. I'm feeling uneasy. Now that I know that, I take that and I transform it. I want to transform it into something specific. What is it specifically that you would like to see come of your actions? What would make it worth it? Okay, be specific, write it down. Look up here on YouTube, bay leaf burning new moon rituals. That's something I personally do at the new moon. There are a lot of videos explaining how it works, how to do it. It's very simple though. But it would be a great time to, just write down that new intention. If you're into journaling, write it down, meditate on it, and then start planning. Make a plan of action. Plan of action is what I'm hearing. Make a plan of action and then start acting on it. All right. That's the only way to get where you want to be, is to start taking action. But if you feel like your actions aren't worth the results that you're getting, then you're not going to take the proper actions. So maybe it is time to step back, take a look at where things are headed, where you want them to be headed, and then move forward. Okay. And then maybe you won't feel so shaky. So that is the message that I have for you. If this resonated, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have some really cool readings coming up that I can't wait to share with you guys. As soon as I'm done taping this, I'm giving away my age. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to do a really cool reading on time travel that you may not want to miss out. So hit that subscribe button. I will see you in the next video, and thank you again so much for watching. Have a blessed day.